Good morning, everybody. Today I'm going to show you how to make soda biscuits. If you've never made biscuits before, you'll be surprised how easy this is to do. You just need some regular ingredients for this. Here's the list. So first thing to do is get the sour cream dissolved in the milk and just set that aside. After the mixture of milk and sour cream is done, set your oven to preheat to 425 Fahrenheit. Mix all the dry ingredients together in a bowl. Stir it up with a pastry cutter, which you're going to be using for the butter. And then, if you don't have a stick of butter to do the 3/4 and you've just got a regular pound, you'll notice there's markings on the side here. This says a 1/2 cup of butter. Now, so what I'm going to do is I'm just going to take a regular knife and just mark along that line. Open the paper up and then just cut straight down. Okay, because 1/4 of a pound of butter is 8 tablespoons of butter. So what I'm going to then do now is just cut this in 4. Okay. It doesn't have to be totally precise. And then what you're going to do is you're going to take 3 of these pieces, which are 2 tablespoons each, and that is going to be your butter for the recipe. And this you can usually I just take the leftover chunk and throw it in my butter dish, or you can just wrap it up and leave it with this. After that's done, get your pastry cutter, and yes, you should have one for this. These things are pretty cheap and available nearly everywhere. And just start cutting like that. If the butter's stuck, just keep cutting and you'll see it'll fall out through the tines in the middle. If you've got some stuck on the side, you can just knock it off with your finger and just keep going until it's really fine. After I've cut it for a few minutes till I basically can't see any large chunks at all, there might be a speck of butter here or there, but that's not going to make a difference. So mix up your milk and sour cream. This part you got to be really quick about this, alright? Letting you know that once you start this, don't walk away till you're done or your biscuits won't turn out. So dump all the milk in. You can just give it a quick mix with the spoon. Okay, so once you've got everything picked up that you can, get in there with your hand and very briefly and very gently pick up it as a mass from the bottom and just turn it over and press it into the dry stuff as I'm doing here. Okay, you really do not want to be kneading this too much, because if you do, your biscuits will wind up tough. And just to let you know in advance, if there are people with prior biscuit making knowledge watching this, I do not believe in the cutter method. You get really tough dry biscuits and you have to work it so much to get round biscuits, it doesn't really matter. Okay, at this point it's looking sufficiently mixed, it's feeling nice, plus you can also, if you're feeling the dough, you can feel it starting to rise. You can't lose this rise at this point. So I transfer this to a cutting board because I don't want to wreck my counter. And what you do is just push it down And I do try to square it up a little bit. I'm going to make 8 big biscuits with this. Now, if you're really ambitious and you wanted to do like a biscuit sandwich or something, you could just cut it right down the middle and make like 2 huge biscuits that you could slice down the middle after. Some of these will be kind of round on one side. There'll be like triangle biscuits. Doesn't really matter. They taste awesome. Okay, so when you have that pushed down, it's about an inch high, and don't mess around with this for too long. Cut it down the middle, cut it here, there, turn it, and then right down the center. Get your prepared baking sheet that you've got some parchment on. I always use parchment to bake. Some people like to grease theirs, some have non-stick they can rely on, whatever you want, Silpat mats, who cares? I'm a parchment guy and I'm never going to change. Don't worry about any little bits stuck on here, speed is really important right now. Okay, so once you have your biscuits all lined up on the tray like that, and the oven is preheated to 425, get a timer, and pop those in as soon as you can and bake for exactly 15 minutes. Timer just went off. Pop the oven open, see what we got. Yeah. Looking nice. So I'll give you a nice close up here and a zoom. So these are the biscuits you got, nice and golden. Cook, good rise on them. And I'll just let one cool off for a minute, split it open on a plate so you can see. The biscuits are cooled off enough now that I can handle one. I'll give you a nice close zoom here. So it's a good color on the top. It's a nice color on the bottom, not burnt. And I'll just get a fork, kind of split it with that so it doesn't break too much. So you can see these are quite even, so they did get a good rise. And you can serve these with butter or jam or whatever you like. Well, that's how I make soda biscuits. Thank you for watching. I hope to see you again.